Thank you very much. May I take your seat? To our esteemed guests from different agencies and entities, to my beloved Bicol University family, to the members of the Board of Regents, to our dear students, to our dear retirees, and former officials of Bicol University, and other guests, which I will anymore mention one by one. Mahay na hapon sa Indugabos. First, I'd like to express that I'm overwhelmed with your presence. I never expected that we would be able to fill this hall of LCC. Thank you for your gift of presence. Friends, 2,609 days from March 4, 2015, when I was proclaimed the 8th Bicol University President by virtue of the Board of Regents Resolution number 9, Series of 2015, until today, February 23, 2023, as I stand before you, colleagues, mentors, fellow administrators, community leaders, my Bicol University family. 2,609 days. It all just seemed like yesterday. It is so much like a well-played movie with a well-written script. My hair has turned from jet black to grayish white. However, I thankfully acknowledge the blessing of trust and confidence in my leadership and administration because it led me to another 4 productive years. Friends, so much has changed since I assumed the Bicol University presidency. So much has changed and so many has transformed. Many of you may attest to these changes. I may not have brought wisdom into the brand of people-centered and collaborative leadership that I have conscientiously tried to perform, but the office of President of Bicol University has indeed brought me wisdom beyond I could ever imagine. Today, as I stand before you, my beloved Bicol University family, I make not only accounting to God, but most importantly, to all of you who have served with me these 2,009 days. Let me take you back to the time when I made a commitment to take Bicol University a step higher towards becoming a world-class university, producing leaders and change agents for social transformation and development. As your president, I present to you my dear Bicol University family, partners, and stakeholders, and the rest of the community we serve, the legacy we have built under my administration for future-proofing Bicol University as it journeys towards its vision. Allow me to present to you the gradual transformation of Bicol University through the various gains and significant milestones, reflecting the plans and programs anchored on the strategic options to advance our direction towards becoming a world-class university for the Bicolano scholars. Our journey as an academic community and as one Bicol University family, like any journey, was never easy. Ours was met with challenges, hindrances, and roadblocks, enough to make any normal person to give up. In fact, I almost gave up at the height of the pandemic. It was filled with transitions and transformations due to the effects of natural and man-made events such as the K-12, SUC leveling, Industry 4.0, changing higher education landscape, natural calamities like typhoons and volcanic eruptions, and the lingering COVID-19 pandemic, among others. All these amounted to radical changes in our systems and processes, particularly in the delivery of our threefold mandates along instruction, research, and extension, which many of us found uncomfortable. These events, especially the pandemic, have tested our resiliency and our resolve to overcome all adversities. If there is one important lesson that I learned from the travails of my presidency, it is the necessity of future-proofing Bicol University in order to minimize the costs and impacts of aforementioned challenges and roadblocks. But we persevered. We rejoiced as we look back at the golden moments of Bicol University in its 50th year of existence as the premier university in the Bicol region. We wept with grief over the passing of our dear colleagues and celebrated milestones as one community, one Bicol University family. We evolved with the challenge of K-12 program. We tried to overcome the obstacles of the pandemic. We have our gains and milestones. We have not been complacent after all. Today, we look back at Bicol University in retrospect as one family and see the difference those 8 years of strategic academic governance has done. We have made progress on areas that matter, from academic governance to competitive programs and structural development. But what has 8 years of strategic academic governance brought to Bicol University? More importantly, where have we collectively taken Bicol University after 8 years? And what is the niche of Bicol University in the future? And of course, one important question is, how far have we gone? 6 strategic options have anchored our plans and programs for Bicol University for the past 8 years, encompassing 2 terms of my leadership. These 6 strategic options have ensured the sustainability of Bicol University's status as the premier university in the Bicol region, establishing its niche in the prevailing educational landscape as it sustains gains, continues to build milestones, leaving behind legacies of a future-proof university. Promoting responsive academic governance as the first strategic option has been done through the following plans of actions, namely, first, organizational restructuring. Second, rationalization of personnel assignment. Third, innovative mechanisms to enhance efficiency. Fourth, streamlining administrative processes. And last but not the least is maximizing use of resources. The Landmark Act, instrumental in promoting responsive academic governance, was the revision, approval, and implementation of the BU Code of 2016. The Bicol University Code of 2016 allowed for subsequent revision and approval of the new BU organizational structure. facilitating the creation and activation of the following offices, namely, the Office of the Vice President for Research, Development and Extension, the Office of the Vice President for Planning and Development, the International Relations Office, Communication and Public Relations Office, Alumni Relations Office, Procurement Management Office, Records Management Office, and General Services Office, among others. Other forms of organizational restructuring included renaming of campuses, like from BU College of Agriculture and Forestry to BU Kinubatan, like BU Pulangi Campus to BU Pulangi. Separation of Jesse M. Robredo Institute of Governance and Development from the College of Social Sciences and Philosophy, academic restructuring of the BS Food Technology program as a university department, and the restructuring of the BUCAF College Business Affairs Office, resulting to the improvement in the performance of income-generating projects. With approval of the BU Code of 2016, we were able to restructure the university, resulting to the right sizing of Bicol University through merger, abolition, and creation of new offices. The move facilitated the rationalization of personnel assignment by deploying them to the offices or units where their item belongs. And secondly, reassignment of personnel to other offices or units. Realization of the plans and programs of the university would not have been easy. Bicol University has slowly but surely followed this direction through innovative policies for instructional delivery, namely, adoption of large classes. Second, flexible and blended mode of delivery. Third, flexible enrollment system. Fourth, coursework reduction. And fifth, setting quota for incoming freshmen guided by the carrying capacity of colleges. All of these measures at first draw some slight opposition from the ground, from the constituent, because mine is a system of experimentation. But later on, we were able to show that these innovations are worth carrying out. So thank you, my dear deans and directors, for always supporting any innovations that your president would introduce to the system. Thank you very much, my dear administrators. One of the most crucial in creating and sustaining organizational efficiency is establishing a strong online presence, including fast and timely delivery of relevant information, while maintaining a strong and good image of the university to the public and the community we serve. Thus, the improvement of our online presence and public image has been part of our directions because it is one of the easiest avenues to promote Bicol University and widen its reach. The creation of the Communication and Public Relations Office in 2017 that administers and manages the official BU social media page and website, including local partnership engagements, facilitated the development with strong, significant, timely, and relevant online, social media, and web presence at par with other national universities with a strong online presence. In 2017, the Bicol University Facebook page ranked first in Region 5 and number 12 in the country. The BU official website was further improved as proposed by the BU Information and Communication Technology Office. The new Bicol University website is averaging 342,000 monthly visits, totaling to 1.2 million local and worldwide visits for 3 months alone. Contributing to the innovative measures on online presence is the IVU, Student Portal, by the Information Communication Technology Office. Other innovative mechanisms to enhance organizational efficiency include the adoption of vehicle pass and traffic management system, and other policies such as adoption of large classes in the GEC and other common classes, observance of carrying capacity of colleges or academic units in terms of faculty complement, use of online request and appointment at the Euro, digital logbook for monitoring of documents at Euro, creation of separate account for all IGPs managed by the BU Business Affairs Office, establishment of the new Office of Business Affairs, and formulation of the Business Affairs Manual Operation, just to cite a few. Friends, top universities around the world rely on huge resource endowment in order to develop their potential and respond to challenges and opportunities. This is the reason why we had adopted the strategic option of enhancing the resource endowment of the university, knowing fully well the limited budget allocation from the government and growing expansion of the university. For this strategic option, we have pursued several measures, like first, consolidation of land resources and securing land ownership, established SNT Hub and Commercialization Center, partnership with private sector to develop business potential of resources, enhancing productive partnership with alumni, and funding endowment and research contracts. As I studied the physical layout of the university, I realized one thing. We have a big campus housed on a massive expanse of land not yet fully utilized. Thus, the first major step that I considered was to consolidate our land resources and secure land ownership. To do this, I created a land use planning committee which took charge of formulating our BU Comprehensive Land Use Plan, or CLUP, and the BU Land Use Development and Investment Plan, or LUDI. A land titling committee was also created, which coordinated with DANR, LRA, and other concerned government agencies, local government units, and informal settlers. And B, they also took the resurveying task of our land assets. Of the total 77 lots under B's possession, not one lot had a land title before 2015. As of December 2023, 35 lots have been titled in favor of BU, while the rest are in various stages of land titling process. Thanks to my committee, with Attorney Da, Engineer Bello, Ana Abante, Chantel Bausing, as the ones working very hard to see to it that all these lands will be properly titled in the name of Bicol University. The land consolidation effort of the university over the past 8 years resulted to the turnover of the land titles of the 16 hectares land assets of the provincial government of Albay, located in the College of Agriculture in Ginuwatan, that we have been using since the establishment of the agriculture school before the creation of Bicol University. So that this takes us back to the early 1900s when agriculture school was created in Ginuwatan. Moreover, we have secured also the deed of donation from the LGU of Gubat for the 8.6 hectares where the BU Gubat campus is located. And this was done during the time of Mayor Ronaldin. If Mayor Ronaldin is here, thank you very much for giving us the trust of handing to us that 8.6 hectares that now houses the BU Gubat campus. Friends, a big stumbling block in the consolidation of land resources of the university is the presence of informal settlers. Through the effort of local government officials or units, particularly Legazpi City, we were able to relocate more than 50 families inside the university, paving the way for the utilization of the land that they were occupying. These lands were intended for constructing new academic buildings, dormitories, roads, convention center, and other physical development initiatives. Responding to the thrust of 21st century education and the call for continued innovation in science and technology, while building on the entrepreneurial spirit, it became very important in our academic governance to establish the Science and Technology Hub and Commercialization Center. We were able to accomplish this through the establishment of the following, namely, first, the Biosystem Innovation Center at BU Ginuwatan, the lab centers in BU College of Science, the City Deli and Citizen, the Regional Center for Food Safety and Quality Assurance, the Bicol Regional Food Innovation and Commercialization Center, and the Technology Business Incubation. Of course, I have to acknowledge the effort of Engineer Glean. Oh, kanya na, extra migraines. To further enhance our resource endowment, we had to pursue productive partnership with the private sector as potential business partners and with the alumni. A long-term lease agreement was inked with a private group, giving them the right to develop the area occupied by the BU Entrepreneurial Centrum and Arcadia that will free Bicol University from the arduous and costly task of maintaining said facilities. Believing that the alumni are positive contributors in the development of the university, we had strengthened our partnership with the BU General Alumni Association Incorporated, or BUGAAI, by developing business partnership with them, like the production and sale of Adampay, and managing the Carnival Barrio Fiesta project during the 50th founding anniversary of the university. We believe, and I personally believe, that by making the BUGAAI financially viable, it will redound to some benefits for the university. Having both the BUGAAI and the BU Alumni Relations Office, which is one of the offices created under BU Code of 2016, working very closely to ensure a dynamic synergy among alumni locally and across the miles, is a great advantage to Bicol University. Aside from the alumni, having an active foundation that will help the university source out funds was also explored. This resulted to the reactivation and reorganization of the BU Development Foundation Incorporated, which culminated in the signing of Memorandum of Agreement between BU and BUDC. An organization, particularly a university, does not only live on one budget or financing source, but on various funding endowments and research and development grants and contracts. Bicol University is no exception. With this end in mind, Bicol University was able to generate various projects with 69 agencies who were able to provide the university with much needed support for endowments and research contracts. Friends, all the previous strategic options that have allowed Bicol University to sustain gains, build milestones for future proofing, culminate into the main and most important agenda for any university, which is the offering of market-driven and relevant academic programs. Through the following action points, we were able to make our academic programs responsive to market needs, aligned with K-12, in consonance with the ISO and accreditation standards, and at par with our continuing quest for SUC leveling. Through environmental scanning, stakeholder consultation, and feedback from relevant public, we had identified and subsequently got the BOR approval to offer 14 new academic programs. The latest addition to our growing list of programs include the Doctor of Dental Medicine, the Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, and BS Development Communication, which we are about to offer starting this school year. The first batch of law and psychology students will graduate this year. Thanks, of course, to the admission of Congressman Edson Lagman, and of course, for the support of my good friend, Pompido. We were able to get the required funding for that, and we were able to offer our Juris Doctor program in 2018. With these new programs, my dear friends, BU has become even more comprehensive in response to existing and emerging needs. To ensure that our curricular offerings are in accordance with the prescribed standards of the Commission on Higher Education and our stakeholders, we had to continually review and revise our academic programs, resulting to the revision of 74 course offerings approved by the Board of Regents as of December 2022. And my former Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. Helen, was very instrumental in the revision of all these programs I mentioned a while ago. Thank you, Dr. Helen, for coming over here. And thank you for all the support you've given my administration. With all these initiatives, we are certain that the quality of our academic programs can withstand the challenges posed by ASEAN integration and globalization. Part of being responsive to market-driven and relevant academic programs is recognizing also which among the program offerings are not as responsive. Thus, we freeze the offering of 8 academic programs. These are programs which have shown a consistent decline on admission enrollment for over 5 years now. With the offering of market-driven and competitive academic programs, BU has consistently performed well in licensure examinations, way above the national passing rate, except in calendar year 2022, when some programs like BS Electrical Engineering and BS Architecture registered below national passing average due to the effects of COVID-19 pandemic. But BS Architecture made a comeback in 2023 by registering a 75% performance and having a second place. Congratulations, BS Architecture. Congratulations, Architect Leo De Rosario. To maintain a relevant and transformative education at par with global standards, we have adopted alternative instructional delivery system through modification and institutionalization of our existing programs. Part of this thrust is expansion of program offering of BU Open University as a degree offering and granting academic unit, and adoption of transnational education program in collaboration with the University of Liverpool in UK, which has already yielded 5 graduates and with 3 more pursuing their graduate studies. Say the number of level 3 programs doubled. This means those accredited for level 4 have better chances of becoming centers of excellence or development in the future. That is a challenge I pose to the next president of Bicol University. Having more COE and COD, because we have already planted the seed for them to becoming a center of excellence and a center of development. We have been subjecting also all our programs to quality assurance evaluation since 2016, resulting to 68 out of 118 curricular programs issued their Certificate of Program Compliance, or COPC, by the Commission on Higher Education as of February 2023 from 0 in 2015. That is 58% in a span of less than 8 years. We have continuously aimed also for the establishment of additional centers of excellence and centers of development, which is the reason why we subject all our programs to the rigors of accreditation and quality assurance. We have retained the COE status for teacher education and awarded the COD status for nursing and fisheries. All these efforts, my dear friends, guests, that we had provided to quality assurance and accreditation, coordinated by our internal Quality Assurance Office under the Office of the Vice President for Academic Affairs. We are a QS 3 stars institution rated with the QS Intelligence Unit of the Paparili Simons Limited. We are institutionally accredited level 3 in 2019. We are a prime HRM Bronze awardee with our RMDO at the helm, and the first Global Citizenship Education Regional Hub, RO5, spearheaded by the Center for Teaching Excellence, including our latest Socotec recertification for our ISO through our IAS. At the heart of our vision of a world-class university is strengthening the foundation for research, development, and extension. In pursuit of this goal, we have institutionalized the creation of additional research, development, and extension centers, or RDE centers, that will advance the thrust and directions of Bicol University in the field of research, development, and extension. With this, we have continuously sustained RD&E engagement that redound to completed researches across the university with an understandable dip in completed researches at the height of the pandemic. But there is a dramatic increase in the number of faculty researchers from 2014 to 2022. It can be noted that a significant increase in grants for R&D funds was accomplished, as shown by the 71.8 million budget for research from our GAA in 2006 to 2014 versus our 314.7 million pesos budget for research in 2014 to 2023. With this, I'd like to thank DBM through the leadership, of course, now the Director Tony, for supporting our imperative to enhance our research capacity and research performance. The same trend was also noted as regards external R&D grant, wherein an amount of 347.8 million pesos was awarded to us in 2015 to 2023, which is almost double of the external grant received in 2006 to 2014. That's a huge amount of money that we had to manage over 8 years. Our extension projects grow hand in hand with our research initiatives. Homegrown technologies were disseminated and adopted by the communities we serve, and helping us to achieve our research is our CHED accredited R&D journal under our Publication and Knowledge Management Division. Our BU R&D journal is one of the 17 CHED recognized journals since 2016 under its Journal Incentive Program. So that means to say, we are the only recognized journal by CHED in the Bicol region, because the other 16 are from other parts of the country. Our patents, copyrights, industrial designs, and utility models have been slowly but steadily building up. All these efforts did not go unnoticed, as we have been an awardee for 2022 for all the clusters in the ISO 2.0 program clustering scheme of the Intellectual Property Office of the Philippines, or IPOPHIL, and other related awards facilitated by the Intellectual Property Management Division under the Office of the Vice President for Research, Development, and Extension. My dear colleagues, achieving a research university status, which is the hallmark of most world-class universities, requires a steady flow of R&D outputs. This is the reason why RDE centers were created under the OBBRDE. A total of 6 RDE centers were created, which are expected to generate research outputs to augment and complement the R&D performance of academic units, thereby ensuring the attainment of the major final outcomes of the university for research and extension. The Regional Center for Food Safety and Quality Assurance
which was created in 2014 under my watch as the Director for Research, but became operational in 2015 when I became President, is mandated to produce innovative technologies, build market confidence on local products for exports through provision of high-end lab services, and build a pool of science experts by training academic and science personnel. The Center for Technology Commercialization and Enterprise Development, or CTCED, which was also created in 2014 but became operational in 2015, shall facilitate the commercialization of mature technologies through business, enterprise development, and market promotion. It has already established Technology Business Incubation Center and working very closely with technology incubators. The Center for Teaching Excellence was established in 2015 as an academic support unit which aims to promote a culture of excellence in teaching within the university as well as in the region through responsive, innovative, and research-based initiatives and undertaking. It is responsible in the conduct of teaching induction programs. I repeat, it is responsible for the conduct of teaching induction programs for newly hired faculty members, aside from implementing research and training programs. We adopted this scheme, my dear friends, because it has been the practice of the university and other universities that when we hire new faculty members, we immediately require them to teach, but not under my time, because we hire faculty, but we give more time for their retraining under this teacher induction program. Established in 2017, the Center for Gender and Development is responsible for mainstreaming gender and development in all programs of the university. It sees to it that at least 5% of the budget of the university is allocated in promoting and implementing GAD plans and programs. And I'd like to thank also Dr. Noel Rafer for taking the lead in making sure that we comply with this requirement set by the government. I think this is the first time that Bicol University has ever complied with the 5% requirement under the helm of Professor Noel Rafer. Congratulations, Professor Noel. The Center for Policy Studies and Development was created in 2017 and is responsible for the conduct of policy-oriented research to aid policy formulation and decision-making for socio-economic development of the region. And for the past 6 years, they have been partnering with different agencies of the government, conducting policy studies, making themselves a self-liquidating research entity of the Bicol University. And I have here on my right side, the first director of the center, Professor Erwin Torres, who is about to obtain his PhD in economics. Established also in 2017, the Regional Center for Science and Math Education is tasked to develop initiatives to improve the teaching and learning of science and mathematics through the development of responsive professional development programs, innovative curricula, relevant research, and outreach activities. It emerged from the Regional Science Teaching Center, which was a project of the DOST implemented by the university. And the Bicol Regional Food Innovation and Commercialization Center was established in 2018 out of the initial funding support from the DOST and provincial government of Albay. It is mandated to be a center of standards and excellence in food science, technology, and innovation that will maximize value addition of diverse food resources and contribute to the sustainable development of the Philippine food industry. Friends, beyond commercialization, the dissemination of homegrown mature technologies to strengthen the research and development capacity is a major thrust in achieving our vision of a world-class university. Some of the homegrown mature technologies disseminated are crab lying-in hatchery technology, community-based coral restoration technology, the Camarines native chicken production technology, and many others. Side by side with technology dissemination is the commercialization of R&D outputs like ginger and turmeric tea with pandan and energy bar, which is a food bar utilizing sweet potato, cocoyam, and rice grain. In strengthening the foundation for research and development, there are policies and practices that need to be evaluated, reviewed, and revised or enhanced based on the current needs and directions. One such policy measure is incentivizing engagement of faculty members in R&D, but at the same time, exerting pressure to faculty members, especially the full professors and associate professors, to faithfully observe the QC requirement of their academic rank. By initiating policy reforms, the vision of building a culture of research and development in the university has been greatly encouraged and enhanced. With the policy reforms that we adopted in RD&E, our published research outputs took off in 2020, but have taken a slight dip after that, resulting from the pandemic, since conduct of research was momentarily stalled in 2020 and 2021. The policy reforms that we initiated also led to a significant increase in paper presentation, both at the local, regional, national, and international levels, especially in 2021 and 2022. With more faculty members now engaged in research and publication, research citations have significantly increased from 2015 to 2022. This implies the improved publication quality of our papers and wider reach of the researchers' publication. As the premier university in the region, Bicol University is expected to develop and produce quality students and outstanding faculty members. To achieve this end, the university has to admit highly qualified students, implement massive human resource development program, hire highly qualified applicants or graduates, support students' cutting-edge research and science programs, and provide scholarships to deserving students. Keeping this strategic option in mind, we have to set a high bar for the admission of these students, as performance of the university in board examinations is correlated with the quality of students that we produce. It is no wonder why less than half of PUSET takers are admitted for enrollment in the various programs of the university. Just to give you a glimpse of this year's admission process, of the more than 19,000 who took the PUSET, only 3,000 plus were qualified. 1,100 were waitlisted, 5,000 plus were below quota, and the rest, almost 10,000, are not qualified. Because of that, these almost 10,000 students cannot enroll in any programs of Bicol University. To support the students' academic pursuit, the university provides internal grants to highly qualified and top-performing students, while at the same time sourcing external grants to be awarded to deserving students. But the number of grantees has declined starting first semester with school year 2018-2019, with the implementation of the free higher education program and tertiary education support programs of the Commission on Higher Education. Developing the students' potential for research is an initiative that has been sustained for decades now. The university regularly sponsors student research forum and competition where winners are recognized and awarded. Lab facilities are also made available for the conduct of their theses. And sandwich programs were also sponsored by the university in collaboration with its partner universities to give selected students international exposure. And in order to sustain the gains and continue building milestones, we have to maintain a critical mass of dedicated and highly qualified workers who will continue our journey towards our vision long after we have left the portals of the university. To encourage our faculty members on staying in the university, we have instituted massive teaching personnel movements from 2015 to 2023, benefiting 474 faculty members who got promoted and reclassification of 624 teaching personnel. Over the same period, 536 teaching personnel were also hired to fill up the void due to retirement. Massive personnel movement was also implemented involving non-teaching personnel, wherein 142 non-teaching personnel were promoted, 4 were reclassed, and 144 were hired. In summary, a total of 1,924 personnel benefited from the above initiatives. We have to ensure also that Bicol University's track record along certain areas of expertise is not lost after retirement by launching and implementing a massive human resource development program never seen before in the annals of Bicol University. This has benefited 276 personnel who pursued their advanced education degrees from top and leading universities within and outside the country. We have continuously supported the professional development of our workforce through their attendance in non-formal trainings and conferences within and outside the country, which benefited an average of almost 600 teaching and non-teaching personnel every year. Friends, as we face an uncertain future because of the pandemic and other events that will come our way, we are rest assured that Bicol University will withstand and overcome them all because of our investment on human resource development. I have said this before during the commencement exercise that if there is one aspect in my presidency that has captured the attention of the public, the retirees, the alumni, and faculty members, it is the massive and unprecedented infrastructure development during the past 8 years, thanks to the support of the DPM and our political sponsors. Given that most of the physical facilities of the university were constructed during the inception of the university in the early 70s. Most of them are in a state of disrepair, needing either immediate renovation or replacement. The growing population of the university also necessitated the construction of new buildings to house additional classrooms, laboratories, and offices. Dormitories were also built to provide our students safe and secure residence, while basic amenities like clean running water and comfort rooms, Wi-Fi connections, library service with expanded collection were also provided to our students and faculty members. Each regular faculty member was also given a communication assistance in 2020 up to 2022, while part-time faculty members were given a proportionate amount to help them cope with the financial requirements of the flexible learning modality. Total amount expended for communication assistance was 24,564,000 pesos to pay the cost of their Wi-Fi, pay the cost of their subscriptions to Smart and Go, and other communication expenses. And to improve the teaching and research facilities, we have established the laboratory facilities of the College of Science, of the Bicol Region Food Innovation Center, and the Regional Center for Food Safety and Quality Assurance, where our students are free to use their facilities. We have also constructed climate-proof facilities through the construction of Convention Center of newly opened to facilitate the physical development. We have also constructed climate-proof facilities through the construction of convention centers that was started in 2018, and we're about to inaugurate it on February 28 after 4 long arduous years. And the center is expected to accommodate 8,000 heads, giving the university now a venue where we can hold commencement exercises and other cultural activities. And to top it all, in that convention center, there are more than 30 big spaces for offices. For CY, roads were and are being constructed to facilitate the physical development of newly opened areas previously occupied by former settlers. This is one of the first things that I did when I became president. I opened up new areas through road development. Maybe some of you would think that many years ago, we would not be able to develop that Olag area because of the absence of road network. But what we did in 2017 was to build road and a bridge to be able to open that Olag area for physical development. The same thing was also done for Binubatan when we opened up roads. And in 2023, we have provided budget for more road development in the different campuses of the university. For CY 2023, more climate-proof facilities will be constructed through the DPWH from congressional insertion amounting to 430 million pesos. With so much to spend for the construction of new buildings, while so much was spent for the construction of new buildings, repair and maintenance of existing facilities was also a top priority in order to extend the utility of said facilities. A total amount of 109,147,000 pesos was spent for the repair and maintenance of existing facilities. So, it's not true that our priority is only on the construction of new buildings because we take priority also the extension of the shelf life of our present or existing buildings. Responding to Education 4.0 and the need to be technologically relevant in the 21st century, we have enhanced also the IT capability through the Smart Campus project of the university, funded out of the usable income of BU and by the Commission on Higher Education. We have also procured ICT and lab equipment in support to instruction. More than 600 laptops were procured, which were distributed to the faculty members to assist them in the conduct of their flexible learning modality and online learning courses. All these developments, my dear friends, will be futile if we close our borders and limit our reach. A university aiming for world-class status must open its doors to internationalization opportunities. We have to go global, even as we act local. This is precisely what we have achieved with our international partners, spread across the globe, and our outbound students exploring beyond the university borders. Our internationalization efforts with the creation of the International Relations Office has forged bilateral agreements on student mobility, research, extension, and faculty exchanges with various international academic partners across Europe, Asia, and the Pacific, including the US. As the outgoing 8th president of Bicol University, I have nothing but countless gratitude to the many men and women who have collaboratively worked with me in achieving productive partnerships that has redounded to sustaining gains, building milestones, and leaving a legacy of a future-proof Bicol University. Today is our day, my dear Bicol University family. The achievements that we have is our collective efforts, not the efforts solely of your president. This is our collective efforts, born by the inspiration and the foundations laid by the various presidents of Bicol University. That is why I'm so happy that our former president, in the person of Dr. Susan Cabredo, is around. Thank you, Madam, for honoring our request. And Dr. Cabredo is one of my favorite mentors during her time in Bicol University. As I pass on in a few days, ano mo niya? Feb 23, 8 plus 8, 16 days. 16 days. As I pass on in a few days, exactly 16 days, the torch of leadership and good stewardship to whoever God and destiny will bless with an anointment of the BU presidency. I leave you with a challenge to forge ahead amidst these pressing and immediate operational challenges like delayed procurement and implementation of projects. So these are the things I will be leaving behind. So next president, delayed procurement and implementation of projects. Many were thanking me for being able to get more funds for Bicol University, but at the same time, it's become a problem for BU and Director Tony. Weak absorptive capacity, inadequate manpower complement, resulting in the hiring of more JOs, more part-time teachers in various colleges, Post-pandemic recovery syndrome. Ang iba gusto mag face-to-face, gusto magpara online. Ang iba gusto magpara work from home. So I call them collectively as post-pandemic recovery syndrome. And my dear BU family, the tendency for complacency amidst aggressive competition with other souks in the region. And I've been always saying this, the next president is faced with the challenge of SUCs getting more aggressive because their goal is to overtake Bicol University as the premier university in the Bicol region. I hope that will not happen after my presidency, because I've carried the mantle. I have preserved the status of Bicol University as the premier and leading university in the region. I'm sorry to Colorado. To say that the best has come is inviting complacency and mediocrity. For even if the signs of one of the best times for Bicol University are highly visible during the worst of times in our pandemic world, we can never sit comfortably and claim full success. But we have laid the foundation. We have instituted the milestones. We have proven that our vision of becoming a world-class university is possible and within reach. I could recall that during my first few days as president, many were backing my vision. One time, nagkurang kusog sa BU, igwa ning program naman sa amphitheater, binaha sa amphitheater, I heard comments like, ini ngay ang world-class university? Or, if there were leaking faucets, ini ngay ang world-class university? Friends, a vision is something of a dream that we have to hold on, that would inspire us to work even harder to get into that state of the vision. So I would say again that we have proven that our vision of becoming a world-class university is possible and within reach. With God's abiding presence and grace and our collective and productive efforts, our feet are at the threshold of the door towards becoming a world-class university. We are almost there, my dear friends. Konting tiyaga na lang. Konting effort na lang. In a matter of time, we will be there. I kept on telling you this, that I might not see the vision of becoming world-class university in my presidency. But I expect that long after I'm gone from Bicol University, BU would become one. That is the kind of confidence I have for Bicol University and for the men and women comprising Bicol University. Let us continue to break barriers that hinder us from realizing the full potential of Bicol University. I enjoin everyone, every member of the Bicol University family, to continue the task of gaining more milestones and transforming our beloved Bicol University into a global hub where the best and the brightest minds converge, because the right leadership and proper mindset, the best is yet to come. Let's continue for Bicol University. family. Without you, I won't be here, speaking in front of you. Thank you very much, and good afternoon, everyone.
Congratulations to our 8th University President, Dr. Arnulfo M. Mascareñas. Thank you again, Sir President, for dedicating your 8 great and productive years of committed and nurturing service during your presidency that truly brought BU to where it is now. And we believe that this 8-year stint of yours as BU President is one of the, or if not, the best thing that ever happened to your life. Thank you indeed for your great leadership. Friends, to serenade our 8th University President and all of us here, we have Professor Gerard B. Lawenco from the College of Social Sciences and Philosophy. A round of applause, please, for Sir Gerard. very much, Sir Gerard, and to the Dean of the College of Social Sciences and Philosophy, Dean Attorney Alex B. Nepomuceno. Now, the BU Albay Magayon Dance Troupe will give us another intermission number. for that very graceful dance move and for reminding us of those beautiful Bicol dances. Thank you also, Ma'am Karina. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the President is gratefully indebted to the women and men who rallied behind and beside him as he fulfills his vision for this great university. And now, he wants to express his heartfelt appreciation to the designated officials and middle managers for the academic year 2022-2023. But before we proceed to the awarding of plaque of commendation to the designees, we would like to announce first to the whole Bicol University community that just yesterday we were in receipt of the official document through our University Quality Management Representative, Sir Cyrus Barameda, our Chief of the Internal Audit Services Office. The BU certification as ISO 9001-2015 compliant for the scope of activities, provision of tertiary and graduate school education, advanced studies, research and community service by the SOCOTEC through certificate number SCP-00722Q, dated 27 December 2022, and shall be valid until 26 December 2025, subject to the adherence to the agreed ongoing program, successful endorsement of certification following each audit, and compliance with the terms and conditions of certification. The certification covers the whole Bicol University, the Bicol University Legazpi, the Bicol University Daraga, the Bicol University Ginobatan, the Bicol University Pulangi, the Bicol University Tabaco, and the Bicol University Gubat. And so, ladies and gentlemen, may I request the deans of all academic colleges and units to be on stage for the awarding of the certificates. Once again, our congratulations. May we request the deans of the academic units, and may we also request our dear President with our Quality Management Representative, Sir Cyrus Barameda, for the awarding of the certificates. May we also request our 4 vice presidents to join our president in the awarding. So we have our Dean from the College of Social Sciences and Philosophy, Attorney Alex Nepomuceno, the Director of the IPSR, Director Karina Sales, the Dean of the College of Science, Ma'am Joy Serrano, the Dean of the Pulangi, Dr. Mary Joy Katangi, the Dean of the College of Nursing, Dr. Jean Annette Ibo, the Dean of the College of Business, Economics and Management, Professor Edgar Barameda, the Dean of the College of Medicine, Dr. Ophel Samarsi, the Dean of the College of Arts and Letters, Dr. Leticia Lopez, the Director of the Institute of Design and Architecture, Architect Leo Del Rosario, the Dean of the BU Open University, Dr. Ramses Lorino, who else? The Dean of BU Ginobatan, Dr. Rosepet D, the Director of BU Gubat, Dr. Rosemary Haji, the Dean of BU Tabaco, Dr. Gisela Ortega, the Director of the Jesse M. Robredo Institute of Governance and Development, Dr. Noemi Ibo, the Associate Dean of the College of Education, Dr. John Mark Mayor, the Dean of the College of Industrial Technology, Dr. Jonathan Arroco, the Dean of Graduate School, Dr. Herbert Rosana, and the Dean of the College of Engineering, Dr. Amelia Gonzalez. Congratulations, Bicol University! Wala bang mas malakas na palakpakan for all our efforts? Okay, so once again, congratulations to us. And of course, special congratulations to our QMR and his team, Sir Cyrus Barrameda. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we now proceed to the awarding of plaque of commendation to the designees for academic year 2022-2023. As I call your name, kindly come up the stage to receive your plaque of commendation. We will use the left side, ladder for the entrance of the awardees. May I again request our university president together with our 4 vice presidents to be on stage for the awarding of plaque of commendation. To start off, may I call on stage Ms. Asher J. T. Azul, the chairperson of the University Student Council. And the plaque reads, Bicol University presents this plaque of commendation to Ms. Asher J. T. Azul, Chairperson, University Student Council, as an expression of appreciation and in recognition of her commitment and dedicated service, instrumental to the attainment of Bicol University's vision, mission, and quality policy under the leadership of the 8th BU President. With admiration and gratitude, given this 23rd of February 2023 at Bicol University, Legazpi City, Albay, Philippines. Signed, Arnulfo M. Mascarenhas, SUC President 4. We are giving the same certificate or plaque of commendation to Engineer Fernan D. De Matera, President, BU Union of Faculty Association Incorporated. Same plaque of commendation is given to Miss Mary Jane A. Viconia, President, BU Association of Non-Teaching Staff. Same plaque of commendation is given to Ma'am Cecil J. Imperial, State Auditor 4, Audit Team Leader, Commission on Audit, Bicol University. The next batch of awardees are the designated officials under the Office of the Vice President for Planning and Development. Professor Alwin Joseph M. Maceres, Director, Planning and Development Office. Same plaque of commendation is given to Professor Erwin E. Torres, the former Director of the Planning and Development Office and the former Director of the Center for Policy Studies and Development. Same plaque of commendation is given to Engineer Ulysses R. Bellio, Director, Physical Development and Maintenance Office. And same plaque of commendation is given to Professor Carlos B. Cortez Jr., Director, Special Project Preparation Office. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Ana Marie R. Abante, Director, Resource Generation and Physical Assets Management Office. And same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Viola L. Amano, Director, Business Affairs Office. The next batch of awardees are the designated officials under the Office of the Vice President for Research, Development, and Extension. Professor Ronel R. Juneda Sr., Director, Research and Development Management Division. Same plaque of commendation is given to Professor Rowena F. Zoilo, Director, Extension Management Division. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Benedicto B. Balilo Jr., Director, Publication and Knowledge Management Division. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Nicanor B. Balbin, Director, Intellectual Property Management Division. And same plaque of commendation is given to Professor Maria Cristina P. Baltazar, Director, Regional Center for Food Safety Quality Assurance. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Arnulfo P. Malinis, Director, Center for Technology Commercialization and Enterprise Development. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Rebecca Rosario O. Bercasio, Director, Center for Teaching Excellence. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Elmer A. Lorenzana, Director, Center for Policy Studies and Development. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Maria Eden A. Ante, Director, Regional Center for Science and Mathematics Education. Same plaque of commendation is given to Professor Maria Janessa A. Reyes, Director, Bicol Regional Food Innovation and Commercialization Center. Same certificate is given to Dr. Marisa N. Estrella, Director, Bicol Consortium for Agriculture, Aquatic and Natural Resources Research and Development. The next batch of awardees are the designated officials under the Office of the Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dr. Yonila B. Barbacena, Director, Internal Quality Assurance Office, and Director, Zonal Computerization Center. Same flag of commendation is given to Dr. Kenny P. Lomibao, Dean, Office of Admissions. Same flag of commendation is given to Dr. Lani L. Maceda, University Registrar. Same flag of commendation is given to Dr. Baby Boy Benjamin D. Nebres III, Dean, Office of Student Affairs and Services. Same flag of commendation is given to Dr. Analinda G. Marceliana, Director, University Student Welfare Services. Same flag of commendation is given to Professor Jaslyn T. Imperial, Director, Institutional Student Programs and Services Division. Same flag of commendation is given to Professor Dave L. Tonga, Director, Student Development Services. Same flag of commendation is given to Miss Glenda Aurora S. Julianda, University Librarian. Same flag of commendation is given to our former officer in charge of the University Health Services, Dr. Leo N. Noyles. Given to Dr. Jean-Marie M. Liana, the head of the University Health Services. Same flag of commendation is given to Dr. Irene R. Moran, Director, Language Center. Same flag of commendation is given to Professor Eduardo Tadeos M. Levica Jr., Director, National Service Training Program. The next batch of awardees are the designated officials under the Office of the Vice President for Administration and Finance. Attorney Norly P. Reyes, Chief Administrative Officer for Administrative Services Division. Concurrently, the Acting Secretary of the Board of Regents. And concurrently, the Associate Dean and Planning Officer of the College of Law. Same flag of commendation is given to Dr. Jennifer T. Barameda, Head, Human Resource Management and Development Office. Same flag of commendation is given to Ms. Salvacion L. Padilla, Head, Supply and Property Management Office. Same given to our former head of the Supply and Property Management Office, Mr. Benjamin T. Payonga. Same plaque of commendation is given to Ms. Cielo L. Jailo, Head, Records and Management Office. Same plaque of commendation is given to Mr. Edgardo M. Sevilla, Head, Motor Pool Services Office. Same plaque of commendation is given to Mr. Rolly S. Gonzalez, Head, Security Services Office. Same plaque of commendation is given to our former head of the General Services Office, Mr. Giselle O. Opeña. Same plaque of commendation is given to Mr. J.K. M. Molar, Head, General Services Office. Same plaque of commendation is given to Attorney Lloyd P. Casasis, Chief Administrative Officer, Financial Management Division. Same plaque of commendation is given to Ms. Cresanta A. Botin, Head, University Budget Office. Same plaque of commendation is given to Mr. Joseph S. Lopera, Head, University Accounting Office. Same plaque of commendation is given to Ms. Cheryl R. Del Prado, Head, University Cashier's Office. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Maria Julieta B. Bores, Director, Procurement Management Office. Same plaque of commendation is given to Ms. Michelle B. Andes, Secretary, University Bids and Awards Committee for Infrastructure. And same plaque of commendation is given to Mr. Benigno O. Ostero, Secretary, University Bids and Awards Committee for Goods and Services. The next batch of awardees are the designated officials under the office of the University President, Attorney Daryl A. Redoblado, Head, Legal Affairs Office. Dr. Dimson M. Rivero, Director, International Relations Office. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Renelyn E. Bautista, Director, Communication and Public Relations Office. Same plaque of commendation is given to Mr. Cyrus A. Barameda, Chief, Internal Audit Services Office, and University Quality Management Representative. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Charina J. Sipon, Director, Alumni Relations Office. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Aris J. Ordonez, Director, Information and Communication Technology Office. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Noel R. Rafael, Director, Gender and Development Office. And same plaque of commendation is given to Professor Janet N. Ariola, University Document Controller. The next batch of awardees are our very industrious academic associate deans and directors. Professor Maria Mercedes A. Ramon, Associate Dean and Planning Officer of BU Pulangi. Same plaque of commendation is given to Professor Maureen M. Maceres, Planning Officer, BU Ginobatan. Same plaque of commendation is given to Professor Maria Richelle M. Marcaida, Associate Director and Planning Officer, BU Gubat. Same plaque of commendation is given to Professor Karina P. Orden, Associate Dean and Planning Officer, BU Tabaco. Same plaque of commendation is given to Professor Sheila B. Disuyo, Associate Dean and Planning Officer, College of Business, Economics and Management. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Imelda Asuncion S. Barce, Associate Dean and Planning Officer, College of Social Sciences and Philosophy. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. John Mark M. Mayor, Associate Dean and Planning Officer, College of Education. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Jerilyn B. Adviento, Associate Dean, College of Medicine. Same plaque is given to Dr. Karen Marie R. Gregorio, College Secretary, College of Medicine. Same plaque of commendation is given to Professor Randy T. Austria, Associate Director and Planning Officer, Institute of Physical Education, Sports and Recreation. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Samuel C. Bobilis, College Secretary, Graduate School, Chairperson, BU Futures Thinking and Strategic Foresight Committee. Same plaque of commendation is given to Professor Alan S. Albaitar, Associate Director and Planning Officer, Jesse M. Robredo Institute of Governance and Development. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Agnes J. Nepomuceno, Associate Dean and Planning Officer, College of Arts and Letters. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Romel Evan J. Paje, Associate Dean and Planning Officer, College of Science. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Lucilin C. Buenga, Associate Dean and Planning Officer, College of Nursing. Same plaque of commendation is given to Professor Arlene A. Balieras, Associate Dean and Planning Officer, College of Industrial Technology. Same plaque of commendation is given to Engineer Rolando M. Dasilio, Associate Dean and Planning Officer, College of Engineering. Same plaque of commendation is given to Architect Maureen M. Sia, Associate Director and Planning Officer, Institute of Design and Architecture. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Maria Teresa M. Abaiza, Head, College of Education, Integrated Laboratory School, High School Department. Same plaque of commendation is given to Professor Rita J. Lina, Head, College of Education, Integrated Laboratory School, Elementary Department. Our next batch of awardees are our very dedicated academic deans and directors. Dr. Mary Joy B. Katangi, Dean, BU Polangi. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Rosefe B. D., Officer in Charge, Bicol University, Ginobatan, and our University Quality Management Lead Auditor. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Rosemary R. Haji, Director, Bicol University, Gubat. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Maria Gisela N. Mortega, Dean, Bicol University, Tabaco. of commendation is given to Professor Edgar S. Barameda, Dean, BU College of Business, Economics, and Management. Same plaque of commendation is given to Attorney Dr. Alex B. Nepomuceno, Dean, College of Social Sciences and Philosophy. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Lorna M. Minya, Dean, College of Education. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Ophelia Samar C., Dean, College of Medicine. Director, Bicol Center for Health Research and Development. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Charlene A. Lucilio, Dean, BU College of Dental Medicine. Same plaque of commendation is given to Professor Karina L. Sales, Director, Institute of Physical Education, Sports and Recreation. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Herbert B. Rosana, Dean, Graduate School. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Noemi L. Ibo, Director, Jesse M. Robredo Institute of Governance and Development. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Rameses M. Lorino, Dean, BU Open University. Same plaque of commendation is given to Attorney Hardy B. Akende, Dean, College of Law. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Leticia M. Lopez, Dean, College of Arts and Letters. Same plaque of commendation is given to Professor Jocelyn E. Serrano, Dean, College of Science. Ibo, Dean, College of Nursing. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Jonathan C. Arroco, Dean, College of Industrial Technology. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Engineer Amelia B. Gonzalez, Dean, College of Engineering. Same plaque of commendation is given to Architect Leo A. Del Rosario, Director, Institute of Design and Architecture. Our next batch of awardees are the 4 vice presidents, plus the 2 former vice presidents. Attorney Joseph L. Bartolata, Vice President for Administration and Finance, and concurrent Chair, University Bids and Awards Committee for Infrastructure. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Amelia A. Dorosan, Vice President for Academic Affairs and concurrent Director of the Auxiliary Services. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Luis O. Amano, Vice President for Research, Development, and Extension, and concurrent Chair, University Bids and Awards Committee for Goods and Services and Consultancy Services. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Eddie S. C., Vice President for Planning and Development and former Dean, BU College of Business, Economics, and Management. Same plaque of commendation is given to Dr. Helen M. Lienaresas, our former Vice President for Academic Affairs. Same plaque of commendation is given to Professor Jerry S. Bigornia, our former Vice President for Planning and Development and former Chair, University Bids and Awards Committee for Goods and Services and Consultancy Services. The 6 pillars of the President on the last leg of his presidency. Thank you everyone and congratulations for your dedicated service to our beloved Bicol University. But of the same congratulations and thanksgiving to all the department chairs, of the different colleges and units of the university, and all the coordinators of the different colleges and units of the university. Thank you so much for all your efforts. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to give us his words of gratitude, please help me welcome Dr. Eddie S.C., Vice President for Planning and Development.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. To the day's reporter, the 8th Bicol University President, Dr. Arnulfo Mateo Mascarillas, the chairperson and members of the Bicol University Board of Regents, fellow vice presidents, deans and directors, students, all my fellow Bicol University workers, and our esteemed guests. Good evening. A few days from now, on March 8, 2023, the 8th Bicol University President, Dr. Arnulfo Mateo Mascarillas, shall be concluding his 8th year of service as Bicol University President, which witnessed the best contributions a president could give a university. For the 8 years of goodness and kindness given to us by President Noli, words will not be sufficient to express our gratitude. But since what is asked of us are words of gratitude, we are expressing our gratitude in terms of words. We start by enumerating the goodness and kindness of the President. Some of the goodness were already provided to us by the President in his end of term report. But let me enumerate so much more, and these are engraved in our hearts, for such goodness and kindness have percolated down to all of us, from top to bottom. All faculty members, non-teaching personnel, job orders have benefited in cash, in kind, in health, and others. But if I am going to enumerate all of those, the time allotted to us until 9 p.m. will not be sufficient. So let me just delimit them to an acronym, the acronym ARNULFO. For letter A, ang dami niyang nabigyan ng trabaho at nabungog. For letter R, reclassification and promotions have become common and a way of life to the Bicol University community. For letter N, never-ending personal benefits that impacted not just on us, but also on our families as well. For letter U, unarguably, he performed as the best BU President of all time. Of course, I speak this with due respect to the 6th BU President, my Nina, Dr. Susana C. Cabrera. Dr. Mascareñas is unarguably the best BU President of all time. For letter L, laudably, he led the university to produce leaders and change agents for social transformation and development. For letter F, facilities and infrastructure have incomparably multiplied in the university. For letter O, organized the Bicol University into its best structure that benefits us. He selected the most suited vice presidents, deans and directors, and heads of offices and units. And I would like another letter N. Marami pa siyang nais itulong sa BU. Sa lahat ng mga ito, kami po, Mr. President, ay taos-pusong nagpapasalamat. I will also take the opportunity to thank you, Mr. President, for the kindness and goodness you gave to me and my wife, Mary. And personally, nagpapasalamat ako, President, for making me part of your 8 years as President, as College Dean, and as Vice President. It is my conviction that with this goodness, kindness of the President, our word of gratitude, word, not words, should be loyalty. But loyalty should be expressed by living and continuing your legacy. So, we would like to express to you, Mr. President, our gratitude in terms of loyalty by continuing and living your legacy. Maraming pong salamat, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Dr. Edisi. Indeed, there are a lot to be thankful for. And indeed, today is a never-ending day of gratitude and appreciation. And so, once again, may we request the President to be on stage because a representative from the local government unit of Gubat, from the office of Mayor Lim, will be awarding the Certificate of Commendation to our 8th President, Dr. Arnulfo M. Mascareñas. Sir? And may we request Sir Erwin C. Estremera from the local government unit of Gubat. And the Certificate of Commendation reads, Certificate of Commendation is awarded to Dr. Arnulfo M. Mascareñas in grateful recognition for his invaluable dedication and exemplary service and contribution as SUC President 4, 8th President of the Bicol University, given this 23rd of February 2023 at Gubat, Sorsogon. Signed, Ronel U. Lim, Municipal Mayor, Gubat, Sorsogon. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much and congratulations to our President. And thank you also to Mayor Ronel U. Lim of Gubat, Sorsogon. At this point in time, we come to close this program, but we are not yet going home because the night is still young. And so, to give us the closing remarks, we have Dr. Luis Amano, our Vice President for Research, Development, and Extension. And it would be followed by the singing of the Bicol University hymn with accompaniment of the BU Marching Band and Director Karina L. Salas conducting.
Honorable Chairperson, Dr. Aldrin A. Darilat, and members of the Bicol University Board of Regents, our esteemed University President, Dr. Arnulfo M. Mascareñas, Vice Presidents, Deans and Directors of Academic Units, Heads of Offices, Officers and members of the Bicol University Union of Faculty Association led by Engineer Fernande Matera, Association of Non-Teaching Staff led by Madam Jane Diconia, officers and members of the Bicol University General Alumni Association Incorporated, headed by Engineer Ivar Robrigado, our guests, heads of offices from the regional agencies, teaching and non-teaching personnel, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is for me a great pleasure to make this closing remark for this very important event. How time flies. In his inaugural speech to the university community, he shared his vision for future of what he called a world-class university, producing leaders and change agents for social transformation and development. Much of what we have accomplished in the past 8 years is a direct result of his leadership, vision, and civility. During the tumultuous years of the COVID pandemic, he led the university by prioritizing the safety of the university community while ensuring that the students continue to receive high-quality education as traditional educational operations were disrupted. During his 8th tenure as university president, Bicol University has flourished as a center of academic excellence that is redefining what it means to be a premier university in the region. He spearheaded the record-breaking capital campaigns, oversaw the university's most ambitious physical infrastructure development, and the growing university research profile. Every new infrastructure and academic initiative that he undertook was in service of creating a world-class environment for learning and teaching. Today, we celebrate his hard work, his perseverance, his dedication to an idea greater than himself. An idea that connects us all in this room. An idea we call the Bicol University. I may be accused of being biased. Di ba? In the next 2 months, magre-retire na rin ako. If I say he is without question the best academic leader I have encountered in all my years of rambling across the higher educational landscape. After all, leadership is about people, respect, building teams, and less of the straight lines of authority. At the end of the day, leadership is an action, not a position. Thank you very much and good evening.
Thank you very much, Sir Sir Louis. It seems that our marching band is no longer here. Okay. So may we request everyone to please rise for the singing of the BU hymn. Thank you very much. We will now take our seats and continue our merienda escena. So this is another happiness of our university president na bago matapos ang kanyang term ay na-revive ang BU Marching Band. Kaya palakpakan natin ang mga members ng ating marching band. Thank you sa trainer, si Sir Alex. And thank you to the direct supervisor of this group, Dr. Benji Nebres, the Dean of OSAS. So ladies and gentlemen, that ends our program for this end of term report of our 8th BU President. And allow me to express our great appreciation to all our guests who took time to be with us in this momentous event. Especially to our former officials and former mentors who at this time are still with us. Thank you very much, Ma'am Monette Ranieses, Ma'am Susan, Ma'am Dolly, Ma'am Helen, Sir Jerry. Where is Sir Jerry? Thank you so much. Parang nandun na sa baso. Thank you so much for your presence. our president is very happy because you are here. And a special mention also to the EOT report team. Sir Al, Maceres, Sir Erwin, Torres, Dr. Ren Bautista, and all her staff, and of course to all our deans and directors, heads of offices, and all our sources of the data and information that were put in the report of our 8th Bicol University President. Thank you also to the Office of the Human Resource Management and Development and all other offices. Likewise, we thank all our providers, service providers here in this building. Yung mga caterers po, yung mga nag-prepare ng pagkain, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. You make our life easy and happy. And to all of you, words are not enough to express our thanks and appreciation. But still, thank you very much. And I bid everyone good luck on what lies ahead for our beloved Bicol University. Now we open the dance floor as we enjoy the beautiful music to be played by our band here. So, Ma'am Karina Sales, take it away.